think your growing up years totally fascinate me. Abhay, I mean, like it's a joint family that you grew up in.
Yeah.
Right. There's your uncle, Dharmendra, the great superstar, all-time great. The GOAT, they call it now.
Oh my
Greatest of all
God.
time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I remember the amount of people that would always be outside the house to see him. Even when Bhaiya hit the scene with Betab, it just added more. It was not a world that I knew I wanted to act, but the world seemed scary, that an actor inhabits, a space that an actor inhabits. And that was really intimidating. And so the anger towards media, and so the anger towards the people who surround an actor and stardom, and that still happens today. But again, like I said, there's good things too.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't see those things back then. And that's probably why also a lot of people, and I didn't stay on for too long, because I was expecting them to just conform or move on. No one's going to sit here and rebel. And we live in a tradition-based culture. It's an old culture. So unlike America, which is all about individuality, rebellion is looked upon as something good. Whereas in a traditional communal culture like us, rebellion is looked upon as disrespect. So here I am with these sort of idealistic contemporary values in an ancient world, with people who are in an industry that is very insecure and are going to do what's best for them. And so
when you were growing up, like, did you have friends from Bollywood? I mean, you were in Juhu, and Juhu has this, gang of. I'm presuming Hrithik would be much older.
He was
to
older.
you, and
not much, but he's older.
Uday Chopra would be. This is like a gang, right? They watched movies together. They hung out together. Were you part of this?
I wasn't part of any gang. Of course, I'd met Hrithik as a kid, and Uday. I'd met Abhishek also as a kid, but I wasn't part of a gang as such. No.
Okay. So you had no Bollywood friends, really.
I'm trying to think.
Hey, Vikramaditya Motwane would be.
Vikram and me went to school together.
Right. That's a Bollywood friend, but not really.
But he wasn't Bollywood at the time. You're talking
yeah.
about people who are from the industry.
Yeah.
But Vikram and me went to school together.
Right. And you guys were close growing up.
Yeah, we were really, yeah.
And who were the other friends of yours who were probably not, or from Bollywood, or not?
No one really I hung out with from Bollywood as a kid, no.
Okay.
Just
the reason I'm asking this question is because there is a perception that you actually didn't want to be an actor. You could do other things. You're an artist in your own right. I've seen your stuff on Instagram. Great stuff.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you. This is really good. You want to be a journalist, perhaps, or so I
mean, those were just give me options of your top 5 professions. Like it was more a lot of these things are just questions I've answered, but they aren't necessarily things I dwelled upon. The only thing the reason I didn't want to act, and that was only because I wanted for granted that I would. Because I come from a family of actors.
Right.
And
was your father an actor?
Yeah, he only did 2 films. He wasn't a very good one, though.
I was trying to look up online if I could
did like
find
2 movies.
Which were these 2 movies?
He wrote one, he produced one. They were all in the 70s.
Okay. Was he the lead? Ajit Deol was the lead, and was that the...
He was the lead in one of them.
Okay.
One never got made, and I remember Honey Auntie, Zoya's mum, she said the cutest thing to me once. She said that, your father's the reason why my film didn't release. I was like, why? What do you mean? She's like, he had to hold my face. And how did he hold it like this? He was shivering.
Oh, so she was the leading lady.
She was the leading lady. I was like, I didn't even know that because I never saw that movie.
Right.
So, he was, I can see that with him. But and then he went into Sher o Shairi and his writing of poetry and stuff like that from there. So, he was only for a short while involved in it, not for long.
Right. I think we've had a pretty long session where you've been really kind and sort of said all those things that you wanted to. I think the one thing that's kind of seeming true to me, and tell me if I'm mistaken, Abhay, this is to end the conversation, is, we are all entitled to our 20s. And there is a brashness that comes with that decade. We think that the world can do better, or we can change the world.
We can change the world.
And do we look back and say, maybe we weren't that right after all, or maybe we weren't that wrong after all? What happens when you look back at your brash 20s and your early 30s, in fact?
I'm really lucky. I know I did create a lot of trouble, but it was all intended for the right purpose, and I created change. People still refer to films I did 10, 15 years ago saying that, they're still not making those films even today, or they're trying. So I know I made change. So I would tell people, no, believe in yourself. You only learn from your mistakes. So go out there, make mistakes, be vulnerable. As an adult, I can definitely say that with the knowledge I have today, I would do it a little smarter, for sure, to not be taken advantage of or being gaslit. Also to not make so many sacrifices. I would be in a different position today had I taken advantage. There's nothing wrong in taking advantage. I used to equate money and power with corruption also. You know, and I think a lot of people are like that. I've had to work on that and see that, oh, money doesn't necessarily equal corruption or misuse of power. That money is like energy, and it's something that, you know, you can make good use of if you have a lot of. Think of it that way instead of it's a corrupt force. I've had to look at the mistakes I've made, and they gave me the answers. Had I not put myself out there, made those sacrifices, made those mistakes, then I wouldn't be the person I am today. And I'm pretty happy with who I am and where I am. And I'm not done yet. The world has changed, you know, and you're more answerable today than ever before. So clearly I did something right. Okay, it was maybe 20 years ahead, but those 20 years have come. Exactly. So I'd like to see where this goes, and if I can better myself. Yeah, that's all I work towards, and my attention is on the positive. So one thing you should always know, and this is what you tell people, is wherever you put your attention, that's where your energy will go. So I could still be angry today or still bitter by my experiences. You'll see that. Even if I don't talk about them, you'll see if I'm bitter or angry at any level. If I have gratitude, you'll see that. If I have, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
yes.
It's that. The human condition is complex. It's not an easy one. Everything that we've spoken of today are not black and white answers. And there's a lot left out, you would think, that you heard it all. No, there was a lot left out. But that's part of the life experience. And again, my attention is on the fact that what a privilege to be born where I was born, in the family I was born. What a privilege to make the mistakes I made, to speak truth to power. How many people get to do that? To change the psyche of a country. Like I had this girl, I remember I had this one really brief appearance talk, and this one girl in the audience got up, and this was after the fairness stream thing. She said, I'd like you to know I'm from a middle class family. We have nothing to do with films or high society. My parents were always pressurizing me to get married because they feel like you're too dark. No one's going to marry you anyways. So let's get you married off now, quicker while you're young. And after you did your thing, they never spoke about my complexion ever again. They understood, they saw. So I want you to know that you have had an effect to a large public. So now, okay, I did it. I've always taken to task my industry. I always have. But what can you do? You clean up your own shop first. And I was almost on this space of, nobody else is bloody doing it. What the hell is your problem? Like, just shut up. Shut up, suck it up, make money. You know, what's your problem? There was that voice going on. And then when she said that, I was like, yeah, this is far more better than getting that big project with that big producer or director. This is far better than that because I'm able to translate in such a way. None of those guys can because they're endorsing those same creams. So you see, you start to find the positives. And what can I say? Like, now I feel like I'm blowing my own trumpet.
Abhay Deol, you do you, as the Gen Z say, or you be you. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.